I want to ask you guys a very simple question. Who is betraying who? Between President Uhuru Kenyatta and his deputy William Samoei Ruto. That's one question which most Kenyans are currently asking. And I want you guys to be honest with me. If Uhuru is betraying Ruto, please just type Uhuru betraying Ruto. If it's Ruto betraying Uhuru, just write Ruto betraying Uhuru in the comment section. And I want to read those comments before probably we proceed.
Saa 2 asubuhi mtakuwa mmepiga kura. Kitendawili saa 3 awe ameenda nyumbani. Tumekubaliana Eldoret, tumekubaliana. Tumalize hii miaka 5 jameni, mimi niende nipumzike, Ruto ashikilia sukume huko mbele, dunia hiyo iendelee. Hao ni namna gani jameni? Hao ni namna gani jameni?
I'm waiting for you guys to let me know who you think is betraying the other. Because one thing which Kenyans never anticipated by this time was a fallout between President Uhuru Kenyatta and his deputy. The two gentlemen came together against all odds. And in the first term, they worked like true brothers, the dynamic duo. But along the way, so many things happened. We had the handshake, and that handshake is blamed for every other thing. But Kikuyu Murkomen also reminded us that they started seeing these elements of betrayal around 2015, which means even the handshake never betrayed these guys. Who do you think is betraying the other?
Wengine wanatuambia miaka 10 na wengine 10. Hii harusi haikuwa yako, ilikuwa ya watu wawili. Sisi tulienda kuhudhuria hiyo harusi. Na kama ilikufa, wacha kulia, ilikufa, haikuwa yako wewe. Pana kuja kutuambia tulisema 10 na huyu ni Uhuru alisemeana. Na ikasemekana hakuna. Sasa turudi kwa uhuru yetu.
In this video today, I want us to look into William Ruto's response or answer to President Uhuru Kenyatta yesterday. But before we do that, if you're watching this video for the first time, please, I want you to just take a second and click the subscribe button so that next time we produce a video like this, YouTube will automatically notify you. This seat is not sitting. I don't feel it. Okay, it's now okay. So that YouTube will automatically notify you. And to my crew here, I want you guys to do me a favor. I want you to like this video. Just give it thumbs up. Now back to the main issue. Nobody had expected President Uhuru Kenyatta and William Ruto to fall out. But of course, it's understandable that these two gentlemen were never compatible, ideologically speaking. So in the last election, they entered into a coalition. Ruto came with this URP. After leaving ODM, Uhuru Kenyatta came with his National Alliance Party, TNA. And Uhuru Kenyatta became the presidential candidate. Then Ruto became the running mate. And Mutahi Ngunyi helped them craft a narrative, the tyranny of numbers. And after the elections in 2013, they emerged victorious. The arrangement was that William Ruto was going to be the running mate. Uhuru Kenyatta was going to be the presidential candidate. And in case they succeed, Uhuru was going to serve for 10 years. And then Ruto was also going to serve 10 years. So basically they had anticipated that they were going to rule this country for 20 good years. And indeed the president was very vocal in committing to Uhuru 10, Ruto 10.
Sini miaka 5. Si nitaenda nyumbani. Si mimi nimesema nitaunga mkono ndugu yangu Mheshimiwa Ruto. Kwani ni Mkikuyu, lazima awe ni Mkikuyu. Si yeye atakuja na timu yake ile atakuja naye. Si mimi nitawaunga mkono. Na tuendelee namna hiyo. Kwa nini huyu mganga afikirie lazima iwe ni yeye?
But now we can safely say that these two gentlemen are not going to work together. Yesterday marked the end of Uhuru Kenyatta and William Samoei Ruto's marriage. Jubilee Party collapsed yesterday. Uhuru Kenyatta bought paraffin on Saturday at Mululu, pale kwa Mudavadi. Then Ruto ignited the fire yesterday. So Jubilee House is now being consumed. And Ruto has already moved to a different political party.
Unajua? Si ndio? Inaitwa relay. Unakimbia ule mwingine anakugojea pale, anatakikana kukugojea ndio ashike aendelee, si ndio? Lakini sasa my brother William hapa amepinduka, anakimbia nyuma.
And three things were very clear yesterday when Ruto responded to President Uhuru Kenyatta. Three things were clear. Number one, the first thing which became very clear is the fact that William Ruto tried so hard to mobilize the Kikuyu forces. He wanted to show his might. There were several MCAs, some coming as far as from Laikipia, Bora ni Kikuyu, as far as from Nakuru, Bora ni Kikuyu, to go and attend a church service in Nairobi, Kayole. And not just attend. These gentlemen were paraded. So in that church alone, there were over 500 MCS mobilized from across the country. And if you listen to Moses Kuria indicated that he received a call from the deputy president himself, and that's why he came. So most of these guys were actually facilitated to attend that event, just to send a strong message. So he mobilized those people. The second thing, which was also open, was the fact that William Ruto endorsed Margaret Wanjiru for Nairobi. Ruto is the deputy president of the Republic of Kenya, the deputy party leader of Jubilee Party. But he endorsed Margaret Wanjiru. What does that tell you? Ruto is not going to support the Jubilee candidate, Dennis Waweru, for Nairobi. So basically, he took the war or the fight to president's doorstep. The third thing which I picked from William Ruto's visit to Kayole yesterday is the fact that for the first time, William Ruto answered President Uhuru Kenyatta directly. What normally happens in other rallies, some of these people would always say what the DP wants to say, but he won't say it himself. So that's why President Uhuru Kenyatta was mad with Mwaura, because Mwaura talked in Msambweni what the deputy president wanted out. The other time when Oscar Sudi attacked the president's family, the president was mad. But that's exactly what William Ruto wanted. So William Ruto has always tried so hard not to confront President Uhuru Kenyatta. Yesterday, he confronted the president.
We cannot degenerate. We cannot go back. When I supported Uhuru Kenyatta, it was not because of his tribe. It was not because he represented any tribe. It was because we agreed on an agenda.
And because I keep on saying on this platform that in politics, nothing happens out of mere coincidence. That in politics, everything is normally designed to achieve specific political objectives. What were the objectives which William Samoei Ruto wanted to achieve by responding to the president? The president's attack on the deputy president and his brigades was very simple. He was responding to the hustler versus dynasties narrative. The deputy president and his allies for the past 2 years have been advancing the hustler and the dynasty to an extent that they believe that Raila Odinga should not become the president of the Republic of Kenya because he was a son to the former vice president. Ruto was in Bungoma sometimes back. And in Bungoma, he even mentioned that Moses Wetangula should not be the president of the Republic of Kenya because the father was a chief, therefore is a dynasty. And he's been very vocal, targeting Gideon Moi, Musalia. So Uhuru Kenyatta had to respond. But why was William Samoei Ruto responding to the deputy president? What are some of the objectives which he wanted to achieve? in my view, 4 political objectives. The first objective which he wanted to achieve was to appeal to the emotions of the Kikuyu nation. William Ruto has been very vocal on this dynasty and hustler narrative. Of course, he can't run away from the hustler narrative. That hustler narrative was crafted by Mutai Ngunyi. By that time, Mutai Ngunyi was still the mouthpiece of the president. So the fallout was still not there. So the idea was to bring, to retain the tribal dominance, Kikuyu and Kalenjin presidency, but come up, because Kenyans were not going to allow that, come up with another narrative where you can bring poor people to join on board. Yeah? So he wanted to appeal to the emotions of the Kikuyus. Because when you talk of 2 tribes, then basically you mean Kikuyus and Kalenjins. So Ruto has the Kalenjins already. So he wanted to appeal to the Kikuyus. That for him, he supported President Uhuru Kenyatta. Not because the president was a Kikuyu. Right? But because of what the president believed in. The Kikuyu nation today is rejecting President Uhuru Kenyatta because they believe Uhuru has not delivered. But Ruto is reminding them. So Ruto is trying to appeal to the emotions of the Kikuyus. Listening to him trying to appeal to their emotions.
Kikuyu kama Mwai Kibaki ambaye alikuwa ofisini. Lakini niliwaeleza siku hiyo na ninawaeleza hata na leo ya kwamba niliunga mkono Mheshimiwa Uhuru Kenyatta sio kwa sababu ya kabila yake. Sio kwa sababu alikuwa anawakilisha kabila yake. Ni kwa sababu mimi na yeye tuliketi chini tukakubaliana kwa sera ya kuweka maendeleo Kenya hii ya barabara na reli na kuunganisha stima na kujenga technical training college na kuweka maji katika taifa letu la Kenya, ndio Kenya iwe bora kuliko vile ilivyokuwa wakati huo. Hiyo ndio sababu niliunga mkono Mheshimiwa Uhuru Kenyatta. Na nilimuunga mkono nikijua ya kwamba Mwai Kibaki alikuwa ofisini na ilikuwa ni makusudi ndio tuweze kuondoa siasa ya ujinga ya kuweka watu katika mirengo ya kabila.
The second thing he's trying to achieve, or the second objective, is the politics of betrayal. William Ruto and the Kalenjins voted for President Uhuru Kenyatta to the last man. That's the reality. And the fact of the matter is that in 2007, the Kalenjins voted for Raila Odinga. So for them to change, to vote for Ruto, for Uhuru in 2013, it was not easy for Ruto himself. But he delivered them. He delivered them because the Kalenjins believed that Uhuru Kenyatta was going to become the president. And after becoming the president, he was going to give their guy the presidency. But now Ruto has tried so much to be loyal to President Uhuru Kenyatta, he delivered his part. But now the president is betraying him. And that's the issue. So he was making that to come out very clearly. That when I supported Uhuru Kenyatta, I didn't support him because he's a Kikuyu. I supported him knowing so well that Kibaki was the president. And Kenyans were already tired with another Kikuyu. In fact, listening to Boni Alwale talking about this tribal dominance before he went to Tangatanga.
Kenya ni nchi ya community 42. Tumechoka kusikia Kenyatta mzee in, Kenyatta mzee out, Moi in, Moi out, Kibaki in, Kibaki out, Uhuru in, Uhuru out, wanataka Ruto in. We don't want that.
Najua Uhuru akikaa anasimama anasema mimi ni rais wa sasa mpaka 2022 na atakayenirithi ni mheshimiwa Ruto. Mimi ni waulize nyinyi, wewe jiangalie kutoka nywele mpaka kidole saa hii, ukiwa mwanamke, ukiwa mwanaume, mnataka kuniambia nyinyi kweli tulikuwa na Kenyatta wa kwanza, sasa tuko na Kenyatta wa pili. Katikati unajua kulikuwa kina nani? Alafu huyu mwingine 2022. Mnataka kuniambia nyinyi ampandi juu ya kitanda na kusakata ngoma kufanya mambo ya viongozi? Toboa, toboa! Toboa, toboa!
Number 3, the third thing is that William Ruto is not trying to advance the hustler narrative without the dynasty narrative. And he's not trying to give the hustler narrative a different meaning. They are saying that according to them, the hustler narrative is about Mama Mboga. It's about ule mtu wa chini, mtu wa mkokoteni. And that's why when they nominated Margaret Wanjiru, Kenyans were asking whether Margaret Wanjiru pia ni mama wa mboga ama ni a different story. But in his initial narrative, it was about people whose fathers were not known. In fact, they've been very vocal. And yesterday, if you listened to the speeches, they actually changed. Even Moses Kuria, in his own speech, really changed from his initial stand on this dynasty and hustlers, because he has been very consistent.
Sisi katika hii hustler nation hatuna shida na mtu yeyote, hatuna shida na familia yote. Na nimwambia rais, to take it from me, mimi ndio mbunge wake, kwamba hata familia yake hakuna mtu ako na shida nayo. Na vile alisema jana kwamba ni kura inachaguana, mtu akitaka kuchaguliwa, hapo rais alipata 100%.
So William Ruto is trying to maintain this dynasty versus hustler narrative, but now leave out the dynasties. Because remember, the punch which Uhuru Kenyatta delivered in Vihiga, the treble card. Kenyans love treble politics. Let's just face it. Kenyans are treble. So when you invoke treble politics, then that caught these guys unawares. But how are they going to deal with it? Because the truth of the matter is that this country has been led by 2 tribes. Ruto is saying that this country has been led or is being led by dynasties. But Uhuru is telling him, if that's the case, then we go further. Tuseme, Kalenjins wamekuwa na yao, Kikuyus wamekuwa na yao. And when the president said that, it became a hot topic. In fact, that was the only counter narrative to hustler nation which has worked. But how will William Ruto sustain the hustler narrative without hurting the dynasties? Because the moment he will raise the dynasties, Kenyans will also remind him that for his entire political life, he has never supported someone who is not a dynasty. They will always say so, that in 1992, 97, he supported Mzee Moi. 2002, he supported Uhuru Kenyatta. 2000, a dynasty. 2007, he supported Raila Odinga. 2013, Uhuru Kenyatta. And during this time, other candidates have been running. So Kenyans have been reminding him that. But now, Uhuru Kenyatta has now unleashed another bombshell, which most politicians were afraid of talking about. The treble dominance. So I think the objective of William Ruto in this particular meeting was to try and sustain and give a different meaning to the hustler narrative. The last thing is the Kikuyu Kalenjin dominance. He also wanted to respond to that. But I think he was unable to do that correctly or openly, because Kenyans would have descended on him with other facts. But he was also trying to say that, for example, Kenyans should elect a person based on what they believe on. When he voted for Uhuru Kenyatta, when he supported Uhuru Kenyatta, it was because of what Uhuru Kenyatta stood for, what they wanted to do for Kenyans. Build school, electricity, build dams, and the rest. Not because he was a Kikuyu. And for him, he's also telling Kenyans that if you want to elect me, just elect me as William Ruto. No, not as a Kalenjin. So he was trying to deconstruct that Kikuyu Kalenjin dominance. Let us wait and see how this is going to pan out. And for Uhuru Kenyatta and Raila Odinga to succeed, they must come out openly on this tribal dominance. They must come out with it openly and take that message to masses, because that's the only way they can counter the dynasty narrative. Thank you guys, and please I love you. Just give the video thumbs up. Bye bye.